council meeting. Is the volume okay with this? It sounds a little funky. Okay, there we go. We just came back from our workshop where we had a good discussion on 900 East Zone Map Development Agreement and some information on code enforcement. So we will start our regular meeting now, as always, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you don't mind standing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Rory, will you see who is here and not here?
Yes, Councilmember Billings.
Here.
Glover.
Here.
Robinson.
Here.
Mikalash.
Here.
And Councilmember Brown is excused.
Okay, thank you so much. Up first, we're going to have a Unified Fire Authority report that was mostly for you to be introduced to our new liaison, Chief Nathan Kay. However, he was recently deployed to New Mexico to help with the flooding that is happening there. So we wish him all the best there and thank him for his service, and he will be back probably at next month's meeting to give a report. So we'll move on to public comments. Any person wishing to comment on any item not otherwise scheduled for a public hearing may do so now. You'll be given 3 minutes, and we just ask that you state your name for the record. Yes.
Do you need my address?
Just your name.
Oh, okay. It's Pam Squires, and can I pass out this thing so as I talk?
Sure.
It'll help. And I don't know if they're not.
If you want.
Yeah, it's me. And I was thinking that there were 5, just like Marie. Let's see. Thank you. Oops.
Oh.
Here, we'll pass that down.
I'm gonna have a few, because I mean, you're just.
Thank you.
Okay, it's a letter I sent. Okay, let me start back. 5 years ago, I've owned this property since 2005. 5 years ago, I moved in. I'm right along 215, and I'm right before the bridge where all the homeless have been. I've watched them go back and forth. But now they've cleaned it out. The police have done a fantastic job. I love our police. Anyway, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And now I'm up to 85 decibels. And I've had that read by different people, including my son-in-law who works for a hearing aid company. That's when you start to lose hearing. Okay, so I went to UDOT 3 times each year and kind of got what I feel was the runaround. Finally, I went to Kathleen Reby, and I wrote this same email to Andrew Stoddard, and with those same pictures. Well, then I sent it again this year, and then Kathleen called me right away and said, you should go to Midvale and ask them about this sound wall. If you look at the picture, this sound wall comes just short of the twin home. I own one side, another gal owns the other, and 2 others, and she rents them out. She does a nice job. Hers are not messy, and I keep everything clean anyway if it wasn't. So I'm asking for a sound wall to be built. It stops just short of the property. This property was built in 1999, and the sound wall, I think, was there before that. It's a cinder block. And then if you look at the map on the second page, you'll see where I yellowed it in. Okay, that is it's kind of a sickening pea green condos across from me. And when that was built, they put in a 16-foot, you can barely see it on that picture, but a 16-foot sound wall. So I'm being greedy. I'm not just saying I want that cinder block wall that's just at the building next to me to go on over to the bridge, but I'd like to add 2 more bricks on top, because I'm inviting any of you. You have my address. My gate is open. You come by anytime. I don't care if it's 9 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 5 at night, and you will hear it extremely loud. And the only time you could really enjoy it would be about 2 in the morning to 4 in the morning. And so that's what I'm presenting. I talked to Kathleen. She was going to be here, but unfortunately she's out of town. She's a state senator, in case you're not familiar. And we don't know who owns the wall. We don't know who built the wall. We don't know who's accountable or who to go to. But she said start here. So there you have it. Do you have any other questions? You don't have any questions. Do you have any questions?
No, we discussed this. Thank you for
Okay.
the comments, by the way. We discussed this in our senior staff meeting today, and I was texting with Kathleen Reby while we were talking. She indicated that she had been in contact with you as recently as today, maybe?
Yeah, she
And so that request would best be handled by the state, so the state legislators would be the ones to contact UDOT for that. So Kathleen, who is traveling, she said that her office is actively working on this, and they'll be in contact with you once they get some information as to like the cost and those estimates. So that's the plan that we have. This, unfortunately, it's not, as far as I know, not something that we, the city, can compel or prevail upon UDOT to put up. But it is, like I said, something that probably is best handled by Representative Stoddard and Senator Reby.
Okay, and that is exactly why I've never brought it to you before.
Yep.
Because I felt it's either UDOT or go to the
Yep.
state.
Well, it doesn't hurt to have more than one governmental entity working on your behalf, so.
Okay, so any pressure any of you have or clout, please go for it. You have them all.
Okay.
And if you want to come in here, a real interested 215, come by anytime.
I might just take you up on that offer.
Well, once you do, or like I was talking on the phone, I walked outside to move the water, and my girlfriend said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm in my backyard." So, anyway, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mrs. Squires, we appreciate it. Anyone else for public comment?
Hi,
State
I'm
your
Sue
name.
Armitage, surprise, surprise. And I just want to bring to your notice that we have Midvale Monday movies. Anybody in the audience to $1 a head. And the next movie is on the 21st. It's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And these are sponsored by the Midvale Community Council. And we go and we shill for people to buy concessions and enjoy the movie. And we glad hand people, and we would love to see you and tell your neighbors about it, or bring your kiddos or grandkiddos, or, I don't know, kidnap somebody. I don't know.
Don't do that.
Just wanted to let you know that they're great movies, and they're popular, and some of you know because I'm on Facebook with you, but others of you don't know. And $1 a head, where else can you go for $1 a head movie nowadays? Thank you.
Thank you, Sue, and happy belated birthday, which was yesterday. Anyone else for public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to council reports. And first, as always, Councilmember Bonnie Billings.
Thanks, Mayor. I don't have any report today.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Paul Glover.
As normal, the mosquitoes are out, and they have, I don't think in our area they found any West Nile yet, but they have up north, so it's only a certain amount of time they'll probably be here, so.
So if you have standing
Use your-
water, clear it out.
Standing water and use mosquito repellent if you're out at night.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Heidi Robinson.
I actually just wanted to remind everyone that we are creeping close to harvest days, so please take a moment to volunteer or just look at all the activities that are going on. You can find that on engagemidvale.com. That's all I have tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Bryant Brown is out today. We wish him a speedy recovery. He is absolutely fine, doing fine at home, but unable to be with us here tonight. So Bryant, if you're watching, go to bed, take whatever the doctor told you to take. Moving on, Councilmember Denise Mikalash.
Since Councilmember Brown's not here, I'm going to speak a little bit longer.
Yes, absolutely, please do.
I just wanted to tell Glenn and Nate from the Public Works team, thank you so much for the tour of the parks and the open space. They took me around our community, talked about the different challenges with our park space and our open space, talked about recommendations. I just wanted everyone to know that there's only 4 of them, and they cover about 120 acres over, I think, 37 parcels, including pocket parks, parkways under the freeway, the cemetery, and they do everything from landscaping to fixing playgrounds. They also maintain all the facilities, and they do the rental, set up and set down, bureau service, so they do so much. So they're a small but mighty group. I did ask them what we as a community could do to help, and there were 3 things. They said, look for suspicious activity and any vandalism, because that costs us a lot of money to replace and repair. They also said, pick up after your pets. That slows everything down and makes it more efficient. And then the other one was just to be patient, because they get your calls and they want to respond as soon as possible, and they appreciate you telling them when like irrigation, things like that happen. But just to be patient with them, because as I said, they're kind of a small group. But I think the other big takeaway is lots of learnings as we go into new developments and we expand. We can take what we've learned from these areas and continue to improve. So just wanted to share that. Big thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Brown would still be talking, so you have at least 5 more minutes.
Oh,
if you
that's
wanted
all right.
to know. Okay. Moving on to the mayor's report. For me, I will continue the Public Works. Thank you. On July 6th, which was a Sunday, we had a major water line break on First Avenue right over here. And of course, it happened on a Sunday at 9 p.m. It happened on a holiday weekend, and it was a pretty major operation. So we had crews out there, I believe, from about 9 p.m. to 4 in the morning, working to fix this issue. And it's one of those things that, you know, we have a wonderful public service director. Thank you, Glenn, for all that you do, and the folks who were actually out there working until 4 in the morning on a holiday weekend. We appreciate everything that they do to make the city as safe and sound as it is. I mean, I can show people the flooding that happened, and we're very fortunate that the resident she contacted me first on Sunday evening, but we're so glad that she did, because it could have been a much, much bigger problem. So I just wanted to thank Glenn publicly, and also your team as well for their quick response.
Thank you. And they're out on 2 leaks right now.
Yeah. The other item, let's a round of applause for Public Works. They definitely keep the city moving and running, so we appreciate all that you do. Real quick, I wanted to mention we had a resident who spoke to the council maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago about a property on Tennyson. And I just wanted to report back that we've made some progress on that property, and I'm very hopeful that we will have even more progress on that. It's one of those things that, you know, we can't go into as much detail as we'd want to, but we are actively working on that property, and just want to make sure that the neighborhood knows that we are working on that, and making sure that we can secure and return a sense of peace and tranquility to that neighborhood, much deserved. That is all I have for right now. I reserve a comment for later if I want. No, I'm joking. But we'll move on to our city manager report, and city manager Matt Dahl.
Thank you. I was going to say for the members of the community here, but I guess it's, sorry, thank you. So for the 3 of you, and all the ones of people listening, the first thing I just want to say is that I'm very appreciative of the council members and the work that you do on many fronts outside of this meeting, both working with us on community issues, one of which, like the mayor has, well, many of which I guess you just discussed, and And while I want to specifically thank Denise for the amount of time that she spent with us last Thursday, going around and looking at a lot of the issues that are in her district, that's just the most recent thing. Clearly, all of the council members spent a good amount of time with us trying to address the issues of the community. However, one thing that is, we've brought this up before, but one thing that continues to be a problem is the sense that posting about something on social media is the same as calling the people who can deal with it. And one of the things that is a very frequent situation for us is that on the weekends when we have Public Works on call, folks will call the Public Works number and it goes to a call service, and then that information is then given to the on-call person to go deal with the situation. But what we have on a very frequent basis is people call, and if no one answers on the first ring, they will then say no one answered, rather than waiting for 2 rings for the answering service to pick up. And so we would just encourage everyone listening, and then as you're speaking with people, if they have concerns about that, is call the number that's on the website for after hours, wait for the answering service to pick up, and that is going to be the most efficient way to get a Public Works employee to go deal with the situation. Actually, oftentimes what ends up happening is a council, they'll do that, call, listen, let it ring one time, say no one answered, they'll reach out to a council member, the council member reach out to me, and by the time we're connecting with Public Works to see if they can deal with it, they are already aware because someone else has called through the formal line, and that was the more efficient way of getting it dealt with. Glenn, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I would say today's a prime example. Time is
I don't think
Time
your
is of the
microphone is
essence,
working.
Garrett. Sorry, it's a contract, a lawyer joke, not bad. Anyway, we got calls at 4 o'clock. They sounded pretty urgent on a leak on 75th. We had guys there within 10 minutes, and they were on another leak, so we had to pull some other resources. But in that 10 minutes, we had a garage flood and a basement flood. And on the weekend, each phone call down the chain just takes more time. And so it's going to save a lot of cost, a lot of damage, and just to follow those procedures.
Second, and equally significant, is in conversations I've had with the chief as well, is the number of people who also will post things online and say, these people are committing a crime, but they don't call 911. They probably don't provide all the information that's necessary in order for someone to actually do something about it. And then sometimes we'll also see people get mad at us broadly speaking, because we're not doing anything about it, even though they're not using the proper method in order to connect with the city. So, second part of this is just saying, if you see someone committing a crime or you're concerned about something, please call 911. Or if you don't think it's an emergency, but you want to call the non-emergency line, that's available on the UPD website, and you can report something that way as well. Is there anything you'd want me to add to that, Chief? Would you like to add anything to that?
If you're debating on whether to call him, just call.
Yeah. Okay. Then, equally as important, happy birthday, Heidi.
Oh my God, I forgot. I said happy birthday to Sue and not to Heidi. I'm so sorry. Same birthday. July 14th.
And then finally, I don't know if you mentioned it, Mayor, but that you were voted in as vice chair for UFA today. That's a pretty big deal. It's good for Midvale. I don't have much more to say on that, but if you had anything you wanted to say about it.
Yeah, it's one of those boards that, if you look at your tax bill, it's a major part of our property tax bill. And not only that, I mean, obviously we are on the administrative side, obviously, we're not on the board, we're not out there fighting fires. That's what,
Right at that.
Yeah, don't tell Bryant that. But, you know, it is majorly important to have the representation that we have on the board, and I was fortunate enough to be elected vice chair today. I joked in the earlier meeting that there was no coin toss involved in this one, so it was a little more definitive. But, yeah, happy to serve in that role. And obviously, if you guys have any questions or concerns that can be dealt with UFA, if you want to filter them through me, I'd be happy to go up the chain, but thank you for mentioning that.
I believe that is all I have this evening, Mayor.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have a public hearing on the agenda for tonight, and a public hearing to consider declaring a portion of Size Road, CY''S, which created some confusion in my head today, because I thought we were talking about road sizes and not Size Road.
I was wondering what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
I didn't understand the.
That's what it
now
was.
with
As surplus real property and authorizing the transfer of the real property by quit claim deed with a reservation of rights to Sandy. And here to discuss that, Glenn Kennedy, Public Works Director.
Thank you, Mayor. Since we just got done talking about code, I'll just relate it to that. The last couple of months, we've received some calls. When I say we, Public Works received some calls from a resident in Sandy requesting code enforcement and property maintenance along Size Road. We were obviously confused and told her that she lives in Sandy, she needed to contact Sandy, which she already had, and their code enforcement directed them to us because we were the property owner. After some research, this was confirmed. Discussions were initiated with Sandy City. So overview, the assumption is that the city acquired this parcel when they built the water tanks. I want to say in the 80s, I could be wrong there. But if you'll look in the illustration there, the portion that we will be vacating is in red, and directly kind of southeast is our water tanks for reference. Sandy has assumed, and just like we assumed, that it was public right away within Sandy. They have been servicing it as such, plowing it, road signage, asphalt maintenance. It's really just a roadway in Sandy. The property has no value to Midvale, serves no purpose for current or future projects. So it's really in the best interest of the city to dedicate this property to Sandy as public right away. It will relieve Midvale of potential maintenance and other liabilities that may be associated with ownership of property in Sandy. Sandy staff generated a quitclaim deed. Legal has reviewed it and made a couple of modifications, which Sandy accepted. The deed transfers the property to Sandy to be operated as public right-of-way, and it included a reservation of rights for Midvale to operate its water lines under Size Road, which it always has, and there's water lines under all of Size Road, not just this portion, and through Sandy, so there won't really be any changes there, but we do have documentation backing it in case something arises. Legal also reviewed and provided direction on the process to surplus this property, resulting in the public hearing and the associated resolution. So thank you, Garrett, and your team for assisting on this. With that, are there any questions? Or
Any
further
questions for
discussion?
Glenn?
So as far as the right of way for our water lines and all that, there's no, if we
There's no
have to
change.
dig it up or whatever.
We will have full access.
Okay, well, this is a public hearing, so I will entertain a motion from the council to open public comment.
Mayor, I motion we open public comment.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay, this item is open for public comment. If anyone wants to comment on the surplus of this road, you'll have 3 minutes. Come on up to the microphone. Seeing none, let's go ahead and entertain a motion to close public comment.
Motion to close public comment.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay, public comment is closed, and there is a motion on the board for council to consider.
Mayor, I move that we adopt resolution number 2025-R-42, authorizing the transfer of real property owned by Midvale City on Size Road by quitclaim deed with a reservation of rights for Midvale's water lines to Sandy City as public right-of-way.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second from the council. Rory, will you call the yeas and nays?
Yes, Councilmember Billings.
Yes.
Glover.
Aye.
Robinson. Aye. And Mikuláš.
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Moving on to the consent agenda, we have one item to consider the minutes of June 17th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Okay, motion and a second. Rory, will you call the roll?
Yes, Councilmember Glover.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Mikuláš.
Yes.
Billings.
Yes.
Okay, that passes unanimously as well. Moving on to action items, we have one action item on for tonight. Consider resolution number 2025-R44, my favorite number, authorizing the mayor to sign a statement of work with Navient LLC for a community development software. Adam.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. If this seems a little bit like deja vu, it is. We were before you, let's see, about a year or so ago. So this is for the community development software. So this is just a timeline of kind of what's happened and why we are where we are today. So initially an RFP went out, ZipFlow was chosen. However, a few months into that contract, they let us know that they were no longer able to fulfill the contract and had to end that. And so we kind of started the process over again. We did not find anyone that we as a committee could really use for what we need. So we entered into discussion with a current software provider, Navient. I believe that's how you say it. I know it is OnBase. So it's kind of an expanded OnBase suite, if you will, and it will give us what we need for community development. And so what's before you tonight is authorization for the mayor to sign the statement of work to kind of expand that, and we can get moving and hopefully quickly pick up where we left off. So with that, there's a potential motion.
Okay, any questions or comments from the council?
My only question is, and I'm not a software developer, so, but what happens if they get through and they are not able to accomplish what you outlined?
I'd rather not think about that, but no, we would start over.
We'd
We'd have to start over.
I don't want that to happen, but I want to know what,
So we have an existing relationship with this company. We use them, our IT department has an existing relationship with them. We use them for our records retention software right now, and have built out a few other softwares with them. So it's not a new company. We're confident and have worked with them that they will do what we need.
And I do remember them having a presence at the Utah League of Cities and Towns, so I think there are a number of other cities. We're not the only city using OnBase or Navient for these purposes, so I think.
When they came and we spoke with them, I think we grilled them pretty hard on things that we needed, and we were impressed with what they could provide. So we're fairly confident that this will continue to move forward and we won't be in that situation again.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe ZipFlow was a bit of a startup company.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this is not. This is a well-established, works across governments, has all sorts of modules, type of company.
okay, I just
Yeah.
want to make sure we get what we're asking for.
Are there any other questions or comments from council? Okay, there's a motion on the board for you to
Oh,
consider.
there is one more question.
Oh.
What's the ongoing expense for this module after the initial build?
It's significant, as is our other contract, but this will remove some of current software that we use. It will be a replacement on the ongoing fee. We currently pay an ongoing fee to a software that will be reduced, that will be taken away, and this will be paid for with that. If that makes sense.
So it's like bundling, in essence.
Kind of.
Okay.
Not really. We're getting rid of one and we're not having to pay that. But we're probably going to have to pay more than we're paying them.
Yeah, and I think so yes, I've
Yeah.
addressed.
The point I
I
made
got it handled.
is that it's a variant of a on-base, which we already use, so.
And those costs are outlined in the statement of work / contract that is in
I
the
saw
packet.
that, but I just didn't see.
Yeah, and I don't have it with me, otherwise I'd easily look it up and tell you, so.
I just didn't see an ongoing amount.
But it is before you because the cost requires that it come before you as council for the decision.
And there is a motion on the board unless Councilmember Glover has any other questions.
Nope.
Mayor, I move that we approve resolution number 2025-R-44, authorizing the mayor to sign a statement of work with Navient LLC for the community development software.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Rory, we call the yeas and nays.
Yes, Councilmember Robinson.
Aye.
Mikuláš.
Yes.
Billings. Yes. And Glover.
Aye.
Okay, that passes unanimously. We do not have a closed session on the agenda for tonight, so we'll move to the motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Any opposed? We are adjourned from our council meeting. Now we will re-establish here as the redevelopment agency of Midvale City, all of the same players, still at the dais. But we'll go ahead with a roll call. If Rory, are you ready for?
Yes.
Okay, roll call.
Board Member Billings.
Here.
Robinson.
Here.
Glover.
Here.
And Mikuláš.
Here.
Board Member Brown is excused.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to public comments. Any person wishing to comment on any item not otherwise scheduled for a public hearing may do so now. Stepping up to the microphone, you'll be given 3 minutes. Any public comments? Okay, moving right along, we'll go to the consent agenda. We have one item, consider minutes of June 3rd, 2025. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Mayor, I motion we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Rory, we call the yeas and nays.
Yes. Board Member Mikuláš.
Yes.
Glover.
Aye.
Billings.
Yes.
And Robinson.
Aye.
Okay, that passes unanimously as well. We have one discussion item on the agenda tonight and a discussion item that I've heard a lot from the community about. Very excited about this possibility. Discussion regarding the Salt Fire Brewery business loan. And we have Aubrey.
Thank you, Board. Thank you, Chair. This has been quite a project. Everybody's been waiting for a while to hear about, so it's great kind of taking over for Kate here. So Saltfire was, actually, let me give you a heads up. The applicant was going to come tonight, but we told him 8, so you guys were a little bit speedier than we thought. So we will make sure he is here when we bring it back as an action item. So continuing, Saltfire Brewery is a local Utah brewery, is established in 2016. Current location is in South Salt Lake, and the owner, operator, and the applicant for the loan is Ryan Miller. They are looking to have their secondary location here on Midvale Main Street in the old evangelical church building that has been renovated, and it's got that outdoor patio space, which is pretty great. It's going to be a bar restaurant for 21 and over. This is a little bit different. He was planning on doing the food himself, but wanted to provide some quality food at a reasonable price. So he went and tried to find somebody. He is partnering right now to sublease with Cutthroat Burger LLC, which has had a successful food truck for a couple years, and they're gonna be doing all the food while the restaurant is open and operating during all the hours. The applicant is requesting the full amount of the $250,000 for the loan, and the loan committee has reviewed all the financial documents, the business plan, everything like that, and they qualify for the 0% interest rate following the guidelines in the loan program. We did add a few additional conditions to maintain that 0% interest rate as they were listed on the term sheet. We'll go over those in a minute. If you want to take a look, this is the exterior, the facade that was renovated. And then on the right side is the proposed layout of the renovations inside So it's going to transform pretty drastically. It's empty in there, so they've got quite a bit of work to do. The applicant is working with the property owner to get, the interior finished as part of the lease, so they won't have to take on the full financial responsibility of that. In the business plan, the estimated profit for the first year is around $600,000, and they're hoping to open within 6 months of getting funding and starting construction, which would be pretty great. Ryan is also really open and willing to kind of be involved in community events prior to that to make sure, people are aware of what's going on and that they get excited about Saltfire as well. Their plan is to be open 7 days a week. The hours may fluctuate, seeing how business goes, but they are hoping to be open for lunch all throughout the week. And then on Sunday, do a brunch, which I think would be great and bring a lot of business in. Utah foodies out there, I think, we could use another brunch spot, which would be pretty great. I think one of the best things is the job creation. Is going to be 7 to 10 positions, which is a little bit more than they proposed in their original business plan. We had asked about a little bit more front of house staff, bar staff, to make sure that, operations run smoothly, and he's really amenable to that, so that's exciting. As outlined in the term sheet for the 0% interest rate, we did add these additional terms. So we asked that they spend 5% of the total portion of the loan that is granted to them on advertising and marketing, just to make sure that this location doesn't, fall through the cracks, and that there's a lot going on here on the street. We ask for a minimum of 3 events that they host per year, which can be a variety of things like live music, beer festivals. They currently do fun things at their Salt Lake location, like Midsummer Shandy Fest, and Darkest Night, which is like a dark beer fest for the winter. So, just kind of appealing to all types of beer lovers, and they've got some pretty fun stuff. They also are interested in collaborating with the businesses on the street and other breweries, which I think will bring a lot of foot traffic and partnerships in that way. Another thing that we discussed with them is a rotating gallery of local artists. They do this already at the Salt Lake location. It is called First Fridays there, and essentially they work with local artists where every month they'll put up work. They'll have kind of like a gallery show, and then they leave the work up and they leave it for sale, and then the profits just go to the artists. So it's really another way to support local artists, and another way to bring in foot traffic. And then the participation in the RDA Midvale main events, we think it's really important for this type of business to be involved. He has been involved in a lot of festivals and whatnot, and so we think that his experience will kind of help move things along and get more activation on this side of the street. Going over the collateral, we have the loan amount 100% covered, so that is that was one of the requirements of the zero interest as well for this loan. The collateral is made up of his existing equipment that he has at the brewery right now, and he has provided all of the receipts. We've done the calculations for the current value and then assessed the 40% that we would take of that. The rest is coming from his personal property. We will hold a second position lien on the property, and on the equipment, we will hold a first position lien. And that is all I have for you. Oh, he's here.
He said he was just down at the property,
Oh,
so he's gonna try and come.
Oh, so can
so
we
any
talk slow?
questions?
I can,
You can leave. Just get it.
I can filibuster if you want.
Yeah.
Read some Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. You guys been there before? Heard there's lots of fun construction going
No,
on down south.
to be honest though, I have heard when I've mentioned this possibility to folks who live in and outside of Midvale, they're very excited excited about having a salt fire closer. Not that South Salt Lake is that far, but in our backyard is even better.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to it. And if he doesn't make it, we will invite him back August 5th at our next meeting to talk.
Yeah.
And any other questions or comments for Aubrey or the RDA regarding this project? And say it slowly if you do.
What's time frame? Like if, what's the time frame? Assuming, like next steps, if, just curious.
Yeah, so if the funds, Kate, you can correct me if I'm wrong, sorry, I'm kind of new at this. So essentially, if we bring it back for an action item, it's approved, we'll go through the title company and get the final documents going. I think that only takes a couple of weeks, usually. Yeah, we work with Meridian, they're pretty quick. And then once we get that going and we can get the funds over to them, then that 6-month period will start. So hopefully, what month is it? That's horrible.
July.
It's July, thank you.
6 months and a couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
by the end of the year, so maybe by Christmas we'll get it.
Can you throw up the rendering for me again? Sorry, my packet's
Yeah.
not working.
Yes.
It looked
Yeah,
like-
sorry, it's really hard
No,
to see.
I appreciate it. This is great. Actually, I love this. So it looks like this wouldn't be hampered by seasonal issues either. This is all interior.
Yes, and the
So-
patio's
So the
already
patio.
existing,
Already
so.
there.
Yeah, and they're hoping to get heaters and everything outside so that, people who like to brave the storm can hang out outside with blankets and heaters and whatnot, so.
Okay, well, we may have delayed as much as we possibly can. There is someone walking in.
Walking in the door.
Is this Ryan Miller?
The applicant is here to talk to
Okay.
you guys.
The applicant is entering the building.
Ryan Miller.
Not that we're waiting for you.
Yeah.
The applicant is here. If we
Yeah.
have any questions or if the applicant would like to speak, come on up.
Yeah.
And if you would just state your name for the record.
Sure, you bet. Ryan Miller, founder, owner of Saltfire Brewing.
Thank you. Well, not to put you on the spot, but
No, that's
we were-
fine. Sorry, I'm late.
We got the presentation. We're going to have, so we had a discussion. Next one, we'll have a vote potentially on the loan. And just wondering if you had anything to add to the discussion. We know your reputation in South Salt Lake is a great one. We're excited to have you on Midvale Main Street. But if there's anything you want to share with the council?
I mean, other than we're really excited to get something going out here too. We just walked Main Street and stopped in the Old Town Tavern and stuff and said hi to those folks down there. So, yeah, we're super excited to be a part of it and make and activate the Main Street of Midvale. So,
Any questions from the council? Okay, we're excited to have you potentially, pending final vote.
Sure,
But
okay.
yeah, thank you so much for
thank you.
your commitment to activating the street. I think is going to be
Yeah, of course.
amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Moving on, we do not have a closed session for tonight, so we'll go to Paul's favorite.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor of adjournment say aye.
Yes.
Any opposed?